Hey guys, how's it going? Justin here with Keystone Mountain Outdoors. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, what we're going to be going over and talking all about is the new Ruger small frame autoloading rifle, or as it's better known as the SFAR. The purpose of today's video is to go over this rifle, get you guys up to speed with some of the pros and cons of this rifle, and share my experiences so far with this rifle. Full disclosure, before we get any further in the video, I bought and paid for this rifle and all the accessories with my own money. Ruger didn't send me this, EOTech didn't send me this. There should be no bias in this video. Now, getting into the Ruger SFAR, to get you guys up to speed on what this rifle actually is, essentially what Ruger did was they took your standard AR-15 and upscaled as few parts as they needed to enable it to shoot .308 and hopefully in the future 6.5 Creedmoor. This isn't necessarily an AR-15 and it isn't necessarily an AR-10. It falls somewhere in between. If we say our average AR-10 is about 7 to 8 pounds bare, this thing's coming to market around 6.8 pounds. So it's going to be far less weight than your standard AR-10. Also, a lot of the parts aren't overly big, overly clunky in comparison to most AR-10s. Now, I can't talk about this rifle without talking about another rifle on the market, or two other rifles on the market that are very similar to this rifle. Patriot Ordnance Factory, POF, announced the Revolution back in 2017-2018 timeframe, and essentially what they did was they did this before Ruger ever did this. They came out with a AR-15 that was upscaled to shoot .308. It was pretty popular, however, as most POF firearms, it was subject to a higher price point. It came with a lot of bells and whistles, a lot of really fancy features, and came with that really fancy price tag. The Revolution was selling for around $2,400-$2,500, and they're still available on the market. Patriot Ordnance Factory realized that people wanted a cheaper alternative, so they then announced the Rogue a couple years back. The Rogue came in even lighter than the Revolution, but was stripped down, didn't have all the features of the Revolution, and came in at a more affordable, about $2,000, $1,800 price point. Now, what Ruger did was Ruger looked at what POF did and kind of put their own touch on it. Ruger, I'm going to call it Rugerized the gun. They kind of stripped it down. They're giving you some features such as a improved two-stage trigger. It's nowhere near as good as a Geisley, but it's better than what you would expect to come in a firearm in this price point. They're giving you basic furniture. They're giving you a really nice adjustable gas system, which we'll get more into. And it's coming to market for $1,229 MSRP. Now, I was able to pick this thing up for just under $1,100 locally, and if you search around, you might be able to find one for similar price points. Obviously, price and availability is going to fluctuate depending on when you're watching this video and where you live. So the SFAR comes in at a really affordable price point, and it packs some pretty nice features. Now, generally, I'm the type of person that would usually splurge for the more expensive product if I feel it's worth it. And I'm not saying that the POF versions aren't worth it to me, but what I'm saying is, looking at this SFAR, it had all the features that I cared about, such as the adjustable gas system, such as the lightweight, such as being set up to be ran suppressed out of the box pretty well, and it came in at an affordable price point that I felt was worth at least giving it a try. Now, as I said, the SFAR out of the box has an adjustable gas system, and I really do like the way they did this adjustable gas system. They essentially have a gas regulator style adjustable gas system similar to what most piston systems have. Essentially, you have 4 settings here. You're going to have a number 3 setting, which is going to be your adverse setting, a number 2 setting, which is going to be your normal setting unsuppressed, and a number 1 setting, which is made for suppressed shooting. Also, it has a 0 setting, which is an off setting. You could basically use this gun as a single shot or use it as a pseudo bolt gun if you want to, and be able to run it that way. Another really nice feature that Ruger incorporated into this gun for those of us that are going to run suppressed is they included some venting in the bolt carrier as well as venting by the barrel nut on both sides of the firearm. What that's going to allow this gun to do is to not overwork the bolt carrier, number one, and number two, it's going to vent off some of that gas so you don't get gas coming back out of the charging handle and giving you a lot of gas to the face whenever you're shooting suppressed. So that's a really, really nice feature that I didn't expect Ruger to do, but whenever I saw it, I thought it was a pretty ingenious. It's not a perfect solution, but it definitely is an improvement over not putting the vents there or anything. Some other really nice features that Ruger included was they kept it basic, right? And I'm saying that's a good feature because it allows you to configure the rifle how you want. You're getting into it for that $1,229 MSRP, and then you could choose to upgrade the parts that you want and leave the parts that you feel are fine the way they are. And it's saving people money. Now, they include a basic Magpul stock, which obviously you could switch that out. They include a basic Magpul MOE grip, which one of the nice features, they put your adjustment tool for your gas regulator inside here, which is really nice. You can upgrade all this stuff if you want. They have a decent out-of-the-box two-stage trigger, which for the price point, I was surprised how good it was. It's nowhere near as good as a Geisley, but it's compatible with standard AR-15 triggers, so you can upgrade it. Personally, I think it's a pretty good trigger out of the box, and I haven't felt the need to upgrade. The charging handle is a mil-spec basic charging handle that immediately I took out of here and put a Radiant Raptor charging handle. Using the optics that I'm using, I found it hard to use the standard charging handle. I felt that that was almost an immediate upgrade that I needed to do. But it's a standard AR-15 charging handle, so easy to upgrade if you want to. If you don't feel it's needed to upgrade, obviously you're not paying for the upgraded charging handle here, so it's saving you money. Now the handguard, I'm not sure if you're able to use standard AR-15 handguards, but I'm sure somebody's going to come along with some aftermarket support for this rifle as it picks up popularity. The handguard is kind of weird, right? So it's Ruger's basic M-LOK handguard, and on the 16-inch configuration, they stripped out all the Picatinny rail across the top from here to here. Now, I assume Ruger did this to save weight. Personally speaking, I would rather have the extra ounce or two that the pick rail gives you, but have the ability to mount stuff up here. Personally, it's not the biggest deal in the world to me because I'm not really running anything extra on this rifle at this moment. They do have the pick rail at the front, so if you want to run a front sight, you could choose to do that. Or if you want to just run a light, you could put your pressure pad all the way up here. I wish they would have included the pick rail the whole way, but as I said, I'm sure some companies are going to come on board and offer some aftermarket stuff for this as time goes on. They do also offer this rifle in a 20-inch configuration, and in the 20-inch configuration, you have the pick rail the whole length of the upper handguard here. So that is a really nice feature. Now, the handguard itself, it's a pretty basic M-LOK handguard. It's not, a super beefy handguard, but also it's allowing them to save cost a little bit. And as I said, hopefully we get some aftermarket support in the future. The handguard is something that I feel is probably the weakest link of this particular firearm, but for the price point, it's kind of to be expected, and it's not bad at all. Getting into the lower receiver, it's pretty basic. They upscaled it to do 308, but as I said, your pistol grips, your triggers, all that stuff are going to be interchangeable. There's no extra ambidextrous features, but it's going to be similar to what you would expect in a standard AR-15. You're getting a ping pong paddle, you're getting a forward assist, you're getting a mag release present only on the right side of the firearm, you're getting a safety only present on the left side of the firearm. So it's not necessarily the most ambidextrous firearm out of the box, but you could add stuff like the Radiant safety or whatever sort of stuff you want to add. A Magpul bad lever, you could add all that stuff. It's standard AR-15, except for the magwell itself. It's a big magwell to incorporate AR-10 pattern magazines, your SR-25 pattern magazines. It's going to ship with a Magpul P-Mag. This is a 20 rounder. Of course, you could get the 30s and all the other different configurations of AR-10 pattern mags, which is really nice. As far as accuracy, with this 1 in 10 twist Cold Hammer forged 5R rifled barrel, you're going to expect pretty good accuracy with pretty good ammunition. What do I mean by pretty good accuracy? Well, with good quality match ammo such as Hornady White Box, I was getting under MOA groups at 100 yards. With Federal Gold Medal Match 175 grain ammo, I was getting under MOA. But with your standard ball ammunition that you're going to find pretty cheap and available, you're going to be getting about 1.5 to 2 or so MOA with that ammunition. Obviously, every rifle is going to like different stuff, but generally, that's kind of what you could expect out of this rifle. And I feel that it's pretty acceptable. Good ammunition, good results, average ammunition, average results. I feel that the accuracy of this rifle isn't better or worse than I really expected. I am surprised it shot the match ammunition as good, especially being that it has a smaller profile barrel to achieve the lighter weight. It held up pretty good. Obviously, not the most accurate rifle in the world, but plenty acceptable to what I expected. Now, getting into how I accessorize this, I have an EOTech Voodoo 5-25. This is the super short on here. We'll have a video coming on this optic in the very near future. I feel that this is a good optic for this rifle because if you want to run the match ammunition, you're getting MOA results. So you can stretch this thing out, as far as you want to stretch a 308 out. The 5-25 gives you the ability to stretch it out as far as you want to. Also, it gives you the low end, the 5 power, to be able to do up close work and be able to do it pretty decently. You're getting a decent field of view out of this. And the overall package, the 5-25 super short here, comes in at a really nice short package. It doesn't look out of place on this rifle. It's not much bigger than your standard 1-6, 1-8, 1-10. And it's giving you the 25x magnification on the top end. Also features locking turrets, which are really nice. Again, full video coming on this optic in the very near future. But I feel like it's a pretty good optic. I have it mounted in an ADM Recon mount here. It's the cantilever style mount to push it a little bit forward. At the other end, I have a Dead Air Nomad LT suppressor on here. This is the long titanium Nomad, and I have the e-brake installed in it. I feel this is a pretty good can for this rifle because it's a lightweight titanium can. It's a bigger titanium can, so it's going to give you all the internal volume to help suppress that 308 pretty well. Running the e-brake on here helps reduce some more of the recoil. Being that this is a lightweight 308, I felt it was a good thing to run on here. Helps get that recoil down to a more manageable realm. So that way you can run the gun fast. It's not a gun that's going to hurt you after you run it all day, but the more recoil you could reduce, the faster target transitions you could do and stuff like that. So wrapping up the video, I feel that the Ruger is a pretty good value. Overall, for the price you're paying and for the features they're offering, I feel it's a pretty solid rifle. Do I wish I would have bought the POF? I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the Ruger. I honestly feel that the Ruger impressed me, that if I could go back and do it over again, I probably would have still stuck with buying this Ruger. I wouldn't have spent the extra money on the POF. Now, granted, I have very little experience with the POF guns. I've shot the Revolution a little bit. I've never shot the Rogue. So I can't really fully comment on a comparison between the two of those. Maybe in the future, we'll look into further comparing them. But, judging my purchase decision after having this firearm for about 2 months and putting about 700 rounds of ammunition through it, I can honestly say I'm pretty impressed with it and I'm pretty happy with my purchase. Is this the best 308 that you could buy? I don't know. Ultimately, you're going to have to judge based off of your needs and what you're looking for and judge if this is the rifle that you want. I will say it does a pretty good job running suppressed. It's a DI gun, so you're going to want to take it apart. You're going to want to clean it after a couple hundred rounds. It's not as long-term durable running suppressed. Like, you can't go thousands of rounds suppressed with this gun like you could with most piston guns. However, you're saving a lot of weight versus most piston gun. It balances a lot better than most piston guns. So I will say that out of the box, this makes a really good suppressor host and overall a really good 308 semi-auto just in general. This is a really good rifle, and so far I'm impressed with it. Guys, the testing with this rifle will continue. Hopefully in the future, I can report back to you guys and let you guys know once I get over 1,000, 2,000 rounds with this rifle. I'm pretty happy with it so far, and so far I got to give it a thumbs up, but obviously long-term testing is going to further detail how this rifle ends up panning out. There's no excessive wear, nothing weird going on with this rifle. 750 rounds isn't a lot, but it's a lot of money in today's prices for 308. So, I feel like I've put a good bit of rounds through this rifle to the point where I feel comfortable saying that I personally trust this rifle. Guys, if you have any questions, feel free to post those down in the comment section below. As always, remember to train hard, shoot fast, and most importantly, be safe. God bless.